Hello and welcome to yet another episode of your favorite program, Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime. As always, it's my pleasure to serve as your host on this important voyage into Nigeria's maritime domain. My name is Ubongisen, and we've got lots of information to educate you about what is going on in the Nigerian maritime and shipping space.
Hello, this is Aminu Umar, CEO, Sea Transport Services Nigeria Limited. You are watching Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime. As always, we begin with the DG's diary. What has the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, been up to? I can tell you for sure, it has been another busy and hectic week for the Nimasa helmsman. At the top of his activities for the week was his visit to the Governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to discuss and to explore some critical maritime-related opportunities that Nimasa and the state of Lagos can work towards realizing jointly. As you know, Lagos is one of the 8 littoral states, and over 70% of the maritime-related activities in Nigeria pass through the state of aquatic splendor and are other regulars that you have become accustomed to. So if you're ready, as we say here at Nimasa, it's anchors away.
The Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, paid a working visit to the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at his office in Alausa, Ikeja, where he pointed out that improved utilization of Lagos waterways will go a long way in easing the traffic congestion on roads in the state. The Nimasa DG also informed the governor of the desire of the agency to partner with the state in the areas of capacity development to improve maritime regulation, thus promoting the blue economy, which has the capacity of creating wealth for the state and the nation at large.
We have been discussing the possible turnaround contributions of the maritime industry. Many a times, recent statistics show that the maritime industry can generate revenue up to $90 trillion. And it remains on paper. So what we want to do now is to start the implementation and see how we can translate these figures into reality.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, in his response, noted that the training and certification of operators of small boats and inland waterways is key to improved safety of operations, while noting that the state government is about to deliver 15 new jetties and terminals to enhance waterways transportation in Lagos.
Today, as we speak, we're actually at various stages of completing 15 jetties and terminals, 15 in different parts of the state.
The Nimasa DG identified areas of collaboration between the agency and Lagos State Government to include human capacity development, fishing industry development, and marine waste management, all geared towards harnessing the nation's potentials in the blue economy.
This, we cannot do it alone, Your Excellency. We need alliances. And these alliances, we identified the littoral states to be one of our strategic alliances. And in developing policy, we need to bring these states, littoral states, on board for their buy-in and contribution. let us see their areas of comparative advantage, and let us develop a policy that we all be happy and implement such policies.
At the virtual event, which held at the agency's headquarters in Lagos, the Nigerian Maritime and Safety Agency Director General, Dr. Bashir Jamal, launched the revised Marine Litters and Microplastic Action Plan. The plan, designed to eradicate waste litter in the marine environment, had several participants from far and near via the internet. In his goodwill message to the launch, the International Maritime Organization IMO Secretary General, Mr. Kitak Lim, said the Marine Litters and Microplastic Action Plan will provide major support to ensure a clean and healthy ocean ecosystem not only in the Nigerian coastline but the entire region.
I'm very pleased to address you on the occasion of the launch of Nigeria's revised Marine Litter and Microplastic Action Plan developed by Nimasa in cooperation with all relevant stakeholders. Sustainable shipping means that shipping activities must be balanced with the safety of life at sea, the long-term health and diversity of the oceans, and the conservation of the marine environment. Marine litter is a major concern. The discharge of garbage from ships has been prohibited since 1980s by virtue of MARPOL Convention, and additionally, the London Convention and its protocol regulate the disposal of waste and also prohibit the dumping of plastic at the sea.
The Secretary General further stated that the IMO, in cooperation with the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and other relevant international organizations, are striving to implement the IMO Action Plan on Marine Litter to contribute to the global solution for preventing marine plastic litters from entering the ocean through ship-based activities. In his opening remarks, the DG said that Nimasa is committed to the removal and prevention of litters from our waterway and ensure a cleaner and safer marine environment to support a healthier and sustainable human life.
80% of the marine litters said to originate from land. It is therefore reasonable to prevent this action. It is in the bid to ensure we address and minimize this waste management in our own waters and the vulnerability of these marine litters. We developed the first action plan of the marine litters and the plastic. On behalf of the governing board, executive management, and management of the agency, it is my humble honor to therefore present the revised edition of the Marine Litter Action Plan for marine litter and plastic management in Nigeria for utilization accordingly.
The President General of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Comrade Adewale Adeyanju, paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamal, at the agency headquarters in Lagos. Prince Adeyanju expressed his support and that of all maritime workers to the DG of Nimasa and noted the strides the agency had made since he assumed office, while urging him to continue with the good work in the maritime sector.
Well, first and foremost, my coming to the agency today is to come and greet my able leader and to even appreciate him for the good job he has started doing since he came in as a DG. And we continue to pray for him to succeed so that he take the maritime stakeholders to the promised land that everybody has been expecting of him to do. And he has started very well. So the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria will continue to support him and to support the agency.
Welcoming Prince Adeyanju, the DG thanked him and all maritime workers for their support so far, while reiterating the agency's continued commitment to pursue programs that will not only benefit maritime workers, but other critical stakeholders in the maritime domain.
I want to see maritime workers behaving like corporate body. Somebody will dress in suit, he will leave his house, he will drive his car, and he will go to such area, remove his dress. He has his office where he will remove his dress and wear his own overall, and then move to the port. You have your vehicles, you move them. Let us have decent working environment.
I am Hassan Bello, and you are watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
In furtherance of his mandate to foster increased partnerships with relevant agencies and foreign governments, the DG of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamal, paid a courtesy visit to the Nigerian-Belgian Chamber of Commerce in Lagos, where he held meetings with the Manager Director, Port of Antwerp International, Mr. Christoph Watschut, and Director of Port of Antwerp International, Mr. Mario Livens. At the meeting, both parties discussed projects of interest, including inland ports and plans to strengthen the relationship between the Port of Antwerp and Nimasa, particularly in the areas of training, technical support and cooperation. In his remarks, Mr. Christoph Watschut noted that the proposed national maritime transport policy was being observed to see how Belgium can invest. Dr. Jamal informed them of the huge opportunities in wreck removal and recycling, stressing that the federal government is planning a coordinated wreck removal policy to drive investment in the area.
I will strongly advise that we look into the areas of this ship recycling and see the partnership. We have the huge wrecks in our own waters littered everywhere. And for the first time, the government intends to take a holistic approach to these wrecks. And before the end of this year, we will see the emergence of the total removal of the entire these wrecks within our own territorial water.
The Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamal, has played host to senior naval officers and contractors of the Deep Blue project to perfect arrangements for the smooth handover of marine components of the Deep Blue project to the Nigerian Navy, that has the statutory duty to carry arms and operate the assets. The maritime components include 2 special mission vessels, DB Abuja and DB Lagos, as well as 16 fast interceptor vessels. In his remarks, the DG reiterated that the training of naval personnel to man and operate the assets is of great importance and also shed light on other aspects of the handover.
On the issue of insurance, the insurance cover for the crew members does not cover the type of operations we want to do with the Nigerian Navy now. So also, if you do certain insurance cover for a civilian, you cannot ask a military man or a uniformed man to take that particular cover. So we look at the insurance policy. Where there is need to adjust, we will have to adjust.
Members of the Navy and staff of HSL Limited thanked Dr. Jamal for his support in facilitating a smooth handover of the assets.
We just had a very fruitful discussion with the DG Nimasa to discuss the fine points for the phased deployment of the assets.
part of preparations towards the arrival of the air assets of the Deep Blue project, stakeholders of the Nigerian maritime security space held a preparatory meeting in Abuja. The participants included the Director, Ministry of Defense, Major Spector, representing HSL International, 2 representatives from the Nigerian Air Force, and the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, accompanied by top officers of the agency. The stakeholders deliberated on plans already put in place towards receiving the air assets, clearing of the Special Mission Helicopter from the Nigerian Customs, assembly of the Special Mission Helicopters, and the onward registration and assigning of a tail number by the Nigerian Air Force. Internal Auditor's Monthly Knowledge Transfer Session, titled Professionalism in Internal Audit. The February edition of the Internal Audit Department Knowledge Transfer event recently held a staff shared ideas and brainstormed on how to enhance performance in the discharge of their duties. At his lecture, Executive Director of Operations Nimasa, Malam Shehu Ahmed, spoke on the topic Professionalism in Internal Audit.
There are some skills that are very important to an effective internal audit. Analytical and critical thinking may likely carry about 73% of your work. Communication skill is key because you want to communicate the information effectively so that the user can able to use those information that provided. May likely take 61% of your skill.
The Director, Internal Audit Department, Nimasa, Mrs. Olamide Udusonya, stressed the importance of the program given the dynamic nature of the maritime sector and how internal audit staff needed to remain informed in line with best practices.
The whole essence of the knowledge transfer session is to improve and enhance our performance on the job. The essence is also to align our objectives, the internal audit objective, with that of the agency, so as to ensure the achievement of the mandate of the agency. The take home for our staff is performance enhancement and, above all, better service to our stakeholders.
At the end of the session, some participants bear their minds on the event.
Today's interactive session with the Executive Director of Operation is applaudable. We really appreciate everything from the beginning to the end of the session. We learned new things, which really add value to our thinking then cap as internal auditor. And we unlearn the old habits of what we used to think an internal audit is. And my take on this very interactive session is that internal auditors are not to just wait until when something happens. We should be proactive so that we'll advise management on what needs to be done on strengthening the internal control system of the agency, which is my very take on the session.
My key takeaways today is we can actually help the management to make better informed decision on the entire agency, and also we can do better in helping the management to reduce the risk and also detect fraud.
My name is Comrade Adewale Adeyanju, President General of Maritime Workers of Nigeria. You are watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
If you're just joining us, it's still Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. At this point, we'd like to read to you the tweet from the DG of Nimasa from his Twitter handle at Jamo Bashir. And this week, the DG's focus, again, is on that all too important issue of maritime security. And it reads, maritime security, no delaying and no dilly-dallying, as we welcome the support of our new Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral A.Z. Gambo. We had a productive meeting at the Navy Headquarters, Abuja, getting the necessary support to deploy the Deep Blue platforms to checkmate sea piracy. Hashtag strengthened resolve. You can continue the conversation directly with the DG of the Nimasa at his Twitter handle. It is at Jamo Bashir, and the hashtag is the voice of maritime. Also, we have the agency's official social media handles, all at Nimasa Official. And then, of course, if you're looking for critical and important information that you require to deal directly with the agency, do visit our website as displayed on your screen. There you'll find details of what the agency is up to on a week-by-week basis. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, and that you found some useful information as to what's going on in Nigeria's maritime domain, and you've been challenged to begin to explore how to participate in the Nigerian maritime space. Let me leave you with the words of Vincent van Gogh, the 17th century artist, when he said, "The fishermen know that the sea is dangerous and the storm terrible, but they have never found these dangers sufficient reason for remaining ashore." There are challenges out there, but those challenges should not leave you ashore. My name remains Ubong Isian. Until I see you next time, stay on course. Bye-bye.